we know how powerful. You can actually even decide that this year's one, no, I would not miss it. And you guys are here today, and we promise you that it will be as amazing, even a lot more amazing than what you guys experienced last year. So we are very, very excited to have you here. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you very, very much for coming. My name is Ayode Jolua Jomeloju, and I am a medical student here in FUTA. I am going to be a moderator for today, and I am super excited to be here. So I'm as excited as you guys because I have lots of questions. I am very, very interested in what our panelists have to say, because I mean, I have my life too, and I definitely want to know how to ensure that I'm able to also do things the right way. So thank you guys for coming. Thank you very much. Mr. Segun, are you still with us?
Mr. Segun, yes, I am.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So would you like us to start? Okay, you're here. All right, do we have permission to start the event?
Of course. Our panelists are already on ground. We can proceed here.
Your voice is a bit muted. I can't really hear you. Can you hear me?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can, but it's a bit muted. Can you move a bit closer to your mic?
How about now?
Okay, I think it's a little better now.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so we're finally kickstarting, and that's making make sense. We share from each and every one chat. The young professionals, creatives, entrepreneurs, you are all welcome to this event, and we are very, very excited to have you. Like I said earlier, last year our conversation centered around winning in school and without losing yourself. And can you still hear me? I think my network is misbehaving. Can you hear me?
You are audible.
Oh, okay.
Mine too is bad.
So I said last year our conversation centered around winning in school without losing yourself. The Nigeria students also. And for those of you that were there, I know you had a lot of takeaways from it. About this year, we're going to ask a much bigger question. A question that not just affects each and every one of us, but is our reality today. Regardless of your discipline, your career path, your ambition, this question affects each and every one of us. Both of us, those of us that are students, those of us that are entrepreneurs, professionals, people that are already working and all that. This is a question that affects every Nigerian youth. And that question simply is, how do I build a life that is not limited by location, by one skill, or by one opportunity? How do you build a life that remains valuable in a world that never stops changing? In this day and age now, we live in very interesting times. AI is reshaping every industry. AI is creeping into every place, schools, workplaces. Even for people that are saying they are into entrepreneurship, they have their own businesses, AI is taking over everywhere. So now people are changing their careers multiple times before the age of 30. You will see people that would even be in medical school. They will tell you that they are AI builders, they are AI engineers, AI specialists, people that are in maybe people that are studying, even people that are in agricultural sciences. You will hear of agricultural engineering. So AI is creeping into everywhere, and careers are changing. So we need skills that would help us to be able to stay relevant, to be able to stay on track. And these skills, the skills I used to get somebody employed 5 years ago, they are no longer enough today. People would say, okay, I went to school for maybe teaching or something, and you feel like this is the only way. You go to the class, you write on the chalkboard, you teach your students, you walk away. That is not the way the world is anymore. AI is creeping into everywhere. Intelligence is creeping into everywhere. Technology and everything. So people have to have the skills that would enable them to be able to stay relevant in these changing times. So the future belongs to those who can adapt, people who can learn continuously, who can create their own values and remain relevant. This is why today's conversation is titled Becoming Relevant, Building a Life That Works Everywhere. This our event today is not about giving motivational speeches. It's not about impressing anybody with what we know. This is a conversation. between each and every one of us, between every audience, every participant in the audience, and each of our panelists, and even us, the moderators. This is a conversation between all of us. That how do we become relevant? How do we gain the skills that will keep us in this day and age? How do we build a life that works everywhere? So this is a conversation that would give us lessons, that would help us, to see our mistakes, that will help us to understand failures and how to move past this, and also that will help us to know where to get our breakthroughs from. So, all these things are what we are going to discuss today. And we are also bringing in our panelists because they are the ones that are going to teach us. They're the ones that have lived this life. They're the ones that are living this life, and they can teach us how they've been able to, how they've been able to get to where they are today, how they are able to function in their respective in their respective field of studies and in their respective disciplines. So whether you are here today to figure out your career, whether you're thinking about entrepreneurship, building something creative, preparing for opportunities abroad, or simply asking yourself, what is next? I believe this conversation will leave you with something very, very valuable. So guys, that will be our very short introduction to this great event. Like I said earlier, this is something that concerns each and every one of us. We are all involved. This is not somebody teaching you, and this is the conversation between all of us. Let's talk about how Nigerian youths can stay relevant in today's changing world. Thank you very much. So very quickly, we're going to move on to the next part of this event, which is the housekeeping. And this is basically us just telling you guys the rules of this event, the rules that will be guiding this event. It's not something too serious, so it's not something too disciplined, something that would make you guys feel like, okay, well, I want Paul, the one is too much. No, we are basically just have very few rules. The very first one is that, please, guys, let us keep our phones on silent. Keep our phone on silence. We don't want maybe somebody is speaking and then there's a phone ringing somewhere disturbing the conversation. So guys, we want all of us to gain as much as possible so that nobody will disturb the other person with their own. So guys, let's keep our phones on silence, and we also have an interactive section, question and answer section later, which so you guys should start thinking of your questions, the things that you are coming with. Okay, I want to know about this, I want to ask about this. We'll be posting a lot on our social media pages about the people that we are bringing, our panelists, so you guys already know the field that each of them specialize in. So I'm sure you already have your questions already to ask them. Okay, this is the part I want to know. I have a question about this, I have a question about that. So guys, make sure that your questions are already with you, and as the chats are going on, you can also pen down your questions, because we'll have the question answer section later, so that you guys can ask us the questions. So we also would encourage you to take notes, because trust me, one statement can change your life. So you guys should take notes, and all the things that they are saying, the ones that you feel like is relevant to you, ensure that you pen something down so that you will not forget and you have something to take away from this. All right, thank you guys very, very much. We're going to move, because of our time, we don't really have that much time. We're going to quickly move to the third part of this event, which is to introduce our panelists. We have amazing people here for you guys today. Trust me, this is this is going to be a very, very, very wonderful session. So we're going to move very quickly. To our first panelist. Please excuse me for just a minute. All right, guys, I'm sorry for that. I am back. So like I said, we're going to move very quickly to our first panelist. And I know that this is one person that a lot of people are very, 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 very excited to meet. I, for one, am included in that, because I was so amazed when I saw his portfolio, the list of things that he has done, and wow. So our very first panelist we're going to be introducing today is Vas Hugh, and he is a young energy and business leader whose journey reflects the power of continuous learning and innovation. As the business manager at Transcon Energy Marketing and Supply, a mini MBA holder from Lagos Business School, and an NUTM scholar, a co-founder of G Energy Technologies. I mean, that is even enough to blow anybody's mind. Guys, let me see your reaction. You guys are too cool. Let me see your reaction. See what I'm reading now. Let me see your reaction, please. So, thank you. So he has built experience across business strategy, energy systems, and technology-driven solution. Through his work, he has helped shape a future where young people can leverage knowledge, innovation, and entrepreneurship to solve real-world challenges. Wow. Thank you so much, sir. We are very, very excited to have you in our midst today. You are welcome, sir. So we're going to move quickly to our second panelist, Ms. Joy Oluwatoyin Adeboye. Ms. Joy is someone that honestly I must say I am super proud to be announcing, because she's someone that the work that she's doing is just amazing. The work that she's doing is amazing. I mean, a lot of us must have been hearing about this gender-based violence, girl-child abuse, and all of that. Ms. Joy is actually someone, she's an award-winning social impact leader, entrepreneur, and advocate committed to advancing the rights, dignity, and economic empowerment of women and girls across Africa. I also belong to an organization that does something like this, but not as, on a large scale as what she does. But, we do a little bit of what we can in our own locality. I must tell you that this is a part that we just have to pay attention to. Ms. Joy is pioneering this field. She is doing such great work. Ma'am, we are so happy to have you. Thank you very, very much, ma'am. Ms. Joy is also a survivor of sexual violence. She transformed her personal experience into a mission-driven movement that has impacted over 21,000 women and girls. Over 21,000 women and girls through mentorship, advocacy campaigns, leadership initiative, and support services for survivors of gender-based violence. If I'm to go through our whole portfolio, guys, trust me, we will not have enough time for this event. So please, guys, join me in welcoming Ms. Joy Oluwatoyin Adeboye to our midst. Thank you very much for coming. We are very proud to have you, ma'am. And moving quickly to our next panelist, Ms. Beauty Chiduizo Onyeyiri. I'm sure most of us will have teachers in our school that are like, oh, that woman changed my life. Like that, there was one teacher that I had when I was in primary 3. That woman, she sat me down one day after one event, and she talked to me about something that I did. And the woman, she just completely changed. And I told myself that because of what this person said, I will be a better person. It is because of her that today I'm a medical doctor, because of her that I'm a lawyer, that I am a business advocate. I'm just, there's always a lecturer or a teacher somewhere that actually just impacted your life in one way or another. So this woman, she's a communications coach, a writer, an educator, and a public speaker dedicated to helping professionals, researchers, and brands transform communication challenges into opportunity for growth and visibility. As the founder of Dream Speaks and Writes, she equips individuals and organizations with the writing, speaking, and communication skills needed to thrive today in this competitive world. So she has an extensive teaching experience spanning from nursery, secondary, and university education. Just imagine the number of lives that this woman has touched. Ma'am, we are very, very happy to have you. Guys, join me in welcoming Ms. Beauty Chiduizo Onyeyiri to our midst. Thank you very much for coming, ma'am. I'm moving quickly to our last and final panelist. I think I don't know. A lot of people have heard some people being referred to as a particular person being referred to as giant of Africa. For me, I feel like it's people that actually touch people's life that should be given those titles. This Mr. Timileyin Adeoye is a technology entrepreneur, an AI innovator, and a lifelong learner, passionate about building solutions that expand access to opportunities for young Africans. A first-class graduate of applied geology from Federal University of Technology, Akure, proudly represented. He has successfully transitioned from a traditional STEM discipline into the world of technology, artificial intelligence, and venture building. He's the co-founder and CEO of LifePrint, a pioneering human capital AI company building longitudinal data infrastructure that captures behavioral, psychomotor, and academic signals to power the next generational AI system for talent matching. Guys, join me in welcoming this giant of Africa, Mr. Timileyin Adeoye. Thank you very, very much for coming. We are very proud to have you, sir. So I'm going to give the floor back to our moderator, the person that made it possible for all of us to be here today, the man that was gifted the divine inspiration to gather each and every one of us today so that we can have the opportunity to talk to people that are moving the field, to ask them that, sir, ma, you guys have been able to climb that high please, that all of us Nigerian youths are looking forward to. Please help us. Teach us how you did it. Give us pointers on how we can do it. Guys, I am so proud to be welcoming today into our midst Mr. Olaboyede Oluwasegun, a friend of mine, a mentor in some way, a mentor and someone that I'm absolutely proud of. You're welcome, sir. The floor is yours.
All right. Thank you very much for that introduction. Please, am I audible enough?
Yes, you are. You are, sir.
All right, perfect. So, once again, I want to welcome each and every one of us to this event this evening. I don't really have to say much or repeat some of the things that you've already mentioned. Okay, thank you very much. I'm audible. Thank you so much. So, honestly, if you are a young person and you are in this call this evening, I want to congratulate you. Do you know why? This is because you're actually one of those people privileged to be here to listen to our speakers tonight. And then looking at it again, they are young people like you and I. All right. They are young people like you and I. You know, it's a different when you are hearing someone that is maybe 60 years old, 80 years old, 40 years old, talking to you on how you are going to navigate your career path. But hearing it from someone that is experiencing it at the same time, there's always a difference there. I want to follow me. So now imagine a situation whereby you were told, I want to expose us to one Nigerian reality now. The real reason why we should be having this kind of conversation. Imagine you are a graduate, let's say you're in 500 level, about to finish, and then a lecturer walk up to you and say, when you finish, after your NYSC, you should leave the country. Imagine that kind of thing coming from a lecturer. Okay. Sorry, am I audible? Can you hear me? Please, someone should help me confirm that.
Yes, we can hear you, but it's a bit faint. Maybe you can, I don't know if you can move a bit closer to your mic.
Okay. So, another reality is this. Maybe you are very skilled. You have a startup, but people are not actually seeing your solution. That is another challenge that youth are facing in the country. And of course, we all know the Nigerian reality, right? We know how easy things are in the country. That you have to jackpot, you have to leave the country before you can live the life of your dream. Let's think about that. So how can you, as a young person, how can you have that kind of life that will make you relevant anywhere you are? Whether you are in Nigeria, whether you find yourself in UK, how can you live that kind of life that is relevant? And relevance here is not about maybe you are being popular. No, I've said that before. It's about you being valuable in any room that you enter. So this set of people that we are going to be having the conversation with this evening, they are going to be exposing us to all of these things. And the other interesting thing is that when I was going through the registration form and I was seeing the interest of the people that actually applied for this event, we got over 100 applications. I mean, people that register for this event. There are some people that have said they want to learn about career development. Some said how they can get global opportunities. Some said they want to network, they want to learn how to network. Some people said they want to learn about creativity and innovation. Some said personal branding. All of these things are actually important. They are the things that will make you relevant as a youth in this 21st century. So without wasting much of our time, I would like to kickstart the conversation. As we all know, the theme of this year's Fireside Chat is becoming relevant, building a life that works everywhere. So I'm going to start from Verse. Yeah, I met Verse at Lagos Business School, and the very first conversation that I had with him, I was really inspired. So I'm sure he has a lot of things to share with us this evening. I just want us to get our pen ready and be ready to learn. So now my question to you, Verse, on the theme of this event, becoming relevant, building a life that works everywhere. What does relevance mean to you personally? And how has that definition evolved throughout your own journey?
Hi everyone, can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay.
Adam.
No, thanks Segun for putting this together. It's a lovely work. I think it's very impactful. Already that there's this amount of interest in the room, it gives us some sense of hope for both Nigeria and Africa as a continent, right? And yeah, thanks Joy for your very generous introduction. Um, This is a very difficult conversation, to be honest, for me as a person, because I've had to do a bit of introspection to say, oh, when I was a little kid, what was relevance to me? As I have grown, what has that evolved into, right? And for me, there's no better place to pick it than to say that I pretty much grew up in a home where my parents were predominantly farmers, right? But I also observed trade because my grandmother used to sell soap. So if you know the former green soap, the old green soap that they usually cut and then they sell, so she had all of that. She would have, sugar tied, have Gary tied in, nylon bags. And I saw trade firsthand growing up. I was still a very young kid, right? And I remember sometimes I would go with my cousin because we had like an orchard, where we had the mango plantation as well and all. And we just pluck mangoes, and the people who were allowed to go to market will give them those things to, go sell for us and all that. So I grew up. I'm saying this to say that I grew up seeing trade happen firsthand. I grew up seeing farming, and just really entrepreneurship in a sense. I didn't call it that. We didn't know what it was. But I know my grandmother used to be called a business tycoon or something. It was a funny way to insult, mock her, but, all of that. And then I grew up in that sense. What I thought relevance was being able to do your own thing and sell it to someone and have people buy things from you. Right. As I grew up, got into primary school, I'd moved to the central city of my state. I'm from Benue State, by the way, so I moved to Makodi, and I used to go to primary school. And one of the days, I was watching an advertisement on NTA, and there. I'm sorry, Shego, you can control me with time, please. If I'm taking too long, just give me a hint, right? And I saw some engineers working on a rig, and I loved the coverall. I loved the hard hat, and I'm like, I want to be an engineer. I want to be like these people. I didn't know they were engineers, but eventually I would later learn that, oh, this is for engineers and all that. And I grew up wanting to become that, right? A petroleum engineer. Got through secondary school, got a mentor who would teach me about vision boards and stuff, and just told me, oh, keep pictures where you see what it is that you want to become, and you just stay at it. So I learned very early on about vision boards. I think I was still in JSS3, SS1 axis. you know he would tell me much later to say, draw a 20-year life plan for your life. Let it cut across, family life. Let it cut across education. Let it cut across health, physical health. Let it cut across, finances, spirituality. I think there were 7 areas. I can't remember all of them. I can't recollect all of them, but relationships and all that, right? And somehow I stalled on it, but eventually, just before I left secondary school, I had something. I written out something and showed to him, right? Um, so that has been a way of, not for me, that for me, I'm saying relevance has been, what did I admire? What did I hope to become, right? How did I grow on that trajectory? And it came along with some of the examples that I was seeing, right? Now, got into university, God being gracious, I got into to study for petroleum and gas engineering, which was what I loved. I hoped to get to, and God was faithful, and I got into University of Port Harcourt. I was studying that. And very quickly, I wanted to do business, of course. It has always been there. And just to piggyback a bit, right? When I was in secondary school, I was in the boarding house. I used to steal my elder brother's book. He had business books. I had the idea that businessmen used to move around with books, and I would hear stories of them reading when they were in flight or whatever. So I would steal my elder brother's books, and I would go to school with them, and sometimes I would not, I would pretend like I'm reading the books really, but I had them in my hands, right? You know, books like Eat That Frog, books by Brian Tracy, by the way, Procrastination, No Excuses, and stuff like that. John Maxwell's books. I would just have them, and sometimes in the pretense that I was reading them during that class, I would read certain things. Oh, if you have two tasks to do, if you have two frogs to eat, eat the ugliest and the biggest one first, and things like that. And somehow I didn't think they stuck, but they did actually, right? But when I now moved into the university, I got exposed to
You have
volunteering.
20 seconds more.
20 seconds more. Good, good, good. So I got exposed to volunteering, and just helping out with stuff, right? Whether it was with secondary school, I was in SU, so we used to do school's work, right? And there was all of that. And over time, for me, relevance morphed from seeing something wanting to become that thing to understanding that there was a bigger purpose. And what opened that door for me was volunteering, and realized that I felt the most fulfillment where I helped other people get certain things. Whether it was the people who were volunteering to serve or the community that was volunteering for, right? So for me, relevance has now morphed more from becoming a certain type of person who wanted to achieve certain things to becoming a person who is an enabler or who gives themselves to see that other people become, everything that they possibly can. So because an introduction, sorry, I'm saying so many things, but yeah, that is what that journey has really looked like for me. Thank you.
Well, very much. Thank you so much. Though I didn't get what is in the last part due to network issues. But then once I can pick from your story is that, there are some things that we actually imbibe as a person now based on our environment, our background. You made mention of your grandma that used to sell some things. They even tagged her as business tycoon in quotes. And then as time goes on, you yourself, you love business. You had interest in business that you had to, read books on business. So that in a way, it has shaped you. It has shaped you. So I was able to pick that from your story. So sometimes, maybe consciously or unconsciously, there are some things that we notice in our environment that will become a part of us later. They can even determine or shape who we later become in life. So thank you very much for taking us through that your journey. So straight, I'll move on to Miss Beauty. Yeah, I'm going to call her Miss Beauty. Yes. So in respect to the theme of this fireside chat, I want to ask, in your own opinion now, what role does communication actually play in becoming relevant in today's world? If you are very comfortable, you can put up your, video so that we can see your face. That's if you are comfortable to do that. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, you are audible.
All right. Good evening. Please, I'll be using the speaker only because I'm outside and it's dark. So you won't be able to see me. Okay.
That's fine.
All right. In respect to the theme of this relevance, one thing you should know that relevance is what keeps you, value is what keeps you relevant. And I've been a communication coach for years. Communication has to do with writing, speaking. You get now, even if you have that value and you cannot communicate what you what you offer, nobody will even know what you do. If you cannot communicate your value, you cannot be relevant. So you need to have that value, and you also need to learn how to communicate your value. If not, others will be at the forefront while you remain where you are. It's just like you placing a gift in an empty room, no window, no door. But you, but and
And um, John Lodge, can you hear me? Okay. Miss Beauty, are you still on this call? Okay, my own audio is not very clear. I can't even hear Miss Beauty anymore. Hello. Am I audible? Sorry, can anybody hear me? Okay. Hello, can anybody hear me?
Segun, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay. I've been trying to get a feedback. All right, let me just move straight to. All right, Joy, over to you. So, in respect to the theme of this event, I would like to ask you, what does relevance mean to you, especially as someone whose journey has been shaped by both personal challenges and social impact work?
All right, thank you so much for having me this evening. I am so honored to be here, sincerely. And whenever I have the opportunity of speaking among our young people, it always gives me this sense of fulfillment, and it also brings back my happiness, my joy, growing up as a child, and everything my life has been shaped through, and see myself becoming, and also here today. So I also want to give kudos to share with that. Thank you so much for putting up this together. So when I saw the team for this year, sincerely, it is something that you cannot actually have a definite answers to everything, because the word relevance is very, very subjective. It's subjective in nature, that it's what relevance is to me might not be what it is to you, but we can always define the context of relevance in line with what you as a person, what you have gone through, how you found your purpose, how you were able to discover yourself into becoming. So to me, relevance to me simply means problem solving, because at every stage of my life, I am always encountered with serious problem, and I do tell myself that this level I am, I put this scripture says that there is no problem that have come before you that's not common to man. God is faithful. So I have to also relate that to my personal self, that there is no challenges that I think I can face as a young person, as a young lady in the social impact space or in the business world, that other people are not facing out there. So how can you actually create a niche? How can you create a relevance around all these things? Ability for you to actually turn this thing into creating sustainable change. Ability for you to be able to influence others positively. It is what relevance means to me. For instance, when I was growing up, I love talking about my story a lot, because normally this is what should have actually taken my life as a child. In fact, it's almost, but rather than just giving up or becoming a miscreant in the society, I actually look for something, something different, something I can do to also help people that are going through that same thing. Not just that, I told myself that my life is beyond advocacy. Life is beyond you just talking. Life is beyond you just ensuring that, I can do this for people, I can do that for people. Now, put money into their hands. That I began to inspire people through entrepreneurship. I know I'm very good at money making. I'm a smart money maker. Now, let me actually start using something through my business. Let me start using it to create change in the life of others. So to me, relevance is just tied around the challenges in which you are facing, and how you are also using your own personal challenges to uplift others out from that situation. Thank you.
Wow, that was beautifully said. Thank you so much for that. I've been getting a lot of complaints from people that network is preventing them from joining. Wow, this is serious. I'm also battling with it here as well. But I just hope that you guys will be able to find a way to still connect back, okay? Because I don't want anybody to miss this particular session. All right, Miss Beauty is actually back, but then I'll come back to you. Thank you very much, Miss Joy, for that. You said something about, advocacy, that based on your experience, based on what you've encountered, you turn that to something that you can use to motivate people, to inspire people, and that life is even beyond advocacy, okay? That you are now using your business, sharing your business journey, how you're making money, your entrepreneurship journey, to also inspire people on how they can as well make money. That makes a lot of sense. Thank you very much for sharing that with us. So yes, I'll be moving on to my very, very good friend, Simileni Adeoye. Yeah, he's on this call right now. And I would like to ask you, Timmy. Yeah, thank you very much. So, in respect to the theme of this year's Fireside Chat, which is becoming relevant, building a life that works everywhere. As someone who is building in the AI and technology space, what does relevance mean in a world that is changing so rapidly? because we are obviously in the world of AI, artificial intelligence. The floor is yours now, sir. Okay. Oh, yeah. Yes, Mr. Timmy, the floor is yours now.
Hello, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Hello. Oh, good. Yes, good evening, everyone. Good to be here. Thank you very much for putting this together, Segun, my very close friend. Let me just say this: we were roommates in 100 level, and funny enough, the three of us that were, I don't know, Segun, if you have thought about it before, like the three of us that were roommates in 100 level, we all ended up graduating with a first class. I mean, that's very, very. It's by myself, yourself, and John. Right. So I think we can pick the topic from there to explain what relevance is in this age, right? In the age of AI. I mean, what I would like to say first of all is that this is not the first time there's going to be a disruptive technology, right? So the internet in the year 2000 did that. No, I mean, in the early 90s, did that for businesses. Electricity was a major revolution, right? It was a disruptive technology, and it's the same thing we are seeing with AI. I mean, the world as we know it is about to change, and relevance in it. I mean, all the speakers have spoken before me, they have actually mentioned it. It's just about value. But let me just make this valid distinction, right? So now, this is the thing. As a person in a business space generally, right, and even in life, you find out that now, when we say value, there is what is what you think is valuable, right, and what your audience thinks is valuable. So they might not be the same thing. So what I'm saying is, so from your own point of view now, maybe as a student, I know there are students on this call. There are, I mean, people that are usually looking to start a business, or people that are just trying to upskill themselves. What you think is valuable sometimes might not be the same the world thinks is valuable. And literally, it took me 3 years to figure this out. And I mean, I hope that's not the case for anybody here, right? Because actually, I mean, theoretically, you can, and I mean, that's still tied to relevance, right? Because relevance is basically value. What are you doing that is valuable? And that is what is going to make you relevant, right? So that's really the core, right? So I just want to expatiate a bit more on the value part. So even it doesn't matter the technology, it doesn't matter. I mean, technology is just a tool that makes me living life easier, right? So it doesn't matter what it is. Might not even be in the AI space, any other space at all is about value, right? And their value is, I mean, we can think about it in two ways. There is what you think is valuable, and there's actually what the market, or whether you are willing, or whether you want to offer maybe the product, the service, or the skill to what they think is valuable. So let me give you a good example. People still think, and okay, you think a university degree is valuable. I think everybody on this call will probably say yes, but does the employer think a university degree is valuable? So this is a very, very clear example of what I'm talking about. So you studied electrical engineering in school, you went to school, you graduated well, and then the mistake the unemployment rate in Nigeria is about, I think it's about 40%, they're about very, very high, right? I mean, a lot of graduates, we are pumping out graduates every year, but the question that nobody is asking is, or the distinction people have not figured out is that, yes, because students think, or let me say graduate, they think the degree they have is valuable. So you see what I'm saying, you see what I'm referring to when I say value, right? Yeah, you think a degree is valuable, right? I think everybody largely on this call, we agree to that statement that yes, the degree is valuable. However, to the employer, do they think your degree is valuable? Now, that gap is what you have to close, right? It's until you close that gap, the gap between what you think is valuable and what the customer or the employer perceives as valuable. So you have to transition yourself from what you think is valuable to what whoever you're offering your service, your skill, your product or services thinks is valuable. It's until you get to that point that you become relevant. So I think I want to tie it up that way. Yeah.
Wow, interesting. Thank you very much for that take. You started by saying that relevance is about value, and that what you think is valuable may not be what your audience think is valuable. So there's a distinction for that, and we have to come to that realization. And you said that it took you about 3 years for you to actually realize that. So that is very, very awesome. So I'm going to now link it back with where Miss Beauty actually stopped. Yes. So Miss Beauty, I'm back to you now. You know, in our world nowadays, many talented people, they actually remain unnoticed, despite the fact that they have valuable skills and ideas. Just like what Ms. Atimi said, the value is even there now for the talented people. But then, why do you think visibility has now become an important part of career and personal growth? So you, as a communication coach now, can you please walk us through this in 30 seconds? Okay, I think I need to unmute you. Yes. All right. Can go on.
All right. Thank you for this opportunity. As a communication coach, you need visibility, no matter the kind of value that you have. If you are not visible, not just being visible, if you are not visible in the right environment, then you're getting it wrong. Because nobody will know what you do if they don't see you and if you don't talk about it. I was giving an instance before the network issue came up. You can place a gift in a room, right? You can place a gift in a room, then you know that there is a gift in that room. Now that room has no window, no door. Another person comes across that room. The person will not even know that there is something in that room. You understand? There is something in that room. Then you that is aware that something is in that room, you now be like, look at what is in the room. To now make it easier for your audience, you now have to add window, you now have to add door or doors, making it easier for your audience. That's essentially the visibility. If you stay hidden, nobody will know what you do. If you don't communicate your value, nobody will know what you do. Like, you will not even get the clients that you expect. So even if you have that value, you need to push yourself because visibility is not magic. You need to do the work. It's not something that can just come out overnight and say that, yes, you have visibility. You have to do the work step by step before you get to that level. Do you understand? No matter whatever you're doing, whether you're a creative, a student, a professional, you need visibility. You need to be visible so that people can know what you do. I mean, be visible in the right environment. Because imagine that you're into part business and you move into boys' hostel. You're trying to be visible, right? But you're in the wrong environment. So, in as much you're trying to be visible, make sure that you're in the right environment. Thank you.
Okay. I think Miss Beauty is done talking, right? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, I am done. Yes,
Oh,
you
okay.
are
Thank you very
audible.
much.
Communication is very. You're welcome.
Okay. So, yeah, you made mention of something that it is important for someone to be visible in the right environment. So you need to actually know your target audience. You need to ensure that you are in the midst of those people that actually need your value, what you are trying to sell. You have to be in the right environment.
Yes.
So very quickly, I'm going to run back to Miss Joy. I'm back to you. So in 30 seconds now, we have so many young people, whenever they experience setbacks in whatever they are doing, in the value they are trying to offer the world, they start questioning their future. So how did you transform painful experiences now into a platform for leadership, advocacy, and impact? Yeah, I think I have to
Okay,
unmute you. Okay.
okay. Thank you very much, Shegun. You see, sometimes as young people, when we are going through challenges at any stage of our lives, sincerely, we used to feel as if this thing will it end. I used to tell myself when I was growing up, I sat down, I told myself the reality. I said, Joy, okay, now that you have attempted suicide, so does it solve the problem? No, it doesn't. So, transforming my own personal pain into a leadership experience. See, leadership is personal. I'll keep saying that. Leadership is personal. Leadership, before you can lead others, you must be able to lead yourself. And how you lead yourself simply means the destination in which you are actually pushing yourself towards. Pain will show you the gap in your life. It's going to show you the lapses in your life. It's going to tell you that this is what I need to do. And the moment you start filling those gaps, that those pains have actually cost you, you begin to have the platform. That was just my own case. I have gone through this. Okay, now start putting out what had happened to you out there. And that was how I was able to have the leadership platforms. I was able to build non-for-profit. I was able to build business. I was able to lead others. I was able to even participate in other leadership and business training programs that have, that have also helped me to support other young people that are coming behind me.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. Leadership is personal. You must be able to first lead yourself before you can say you want to lead other people. That is very, very important. And that also means that you must be strong enough. You must have this internal drive that no matter what actually comes, you still be able to continue. Please, just, oh my God. Yes, I'm back. Sorry about that. Yeah, sorry about that. So you must have that internal drive that, okay, no, you are going to turn this setback to strength because you can't afford to actually give up. So thank you very much for sharing that. So I'm going back to Versailles now. Versailles. I like calling that name. So my question to you now, Versailles, is that I remember Mr. Tini actually mentioned that degree is not enough. Your degree is not actually enough. So for many students that focus heavily on obtaining certificates and grades alone, in your own opinion, what skills or competence will make a young person to be valuable and globally competitive in the next decade?
No, thanks. So we were recruiting some few months ago, right, at Ginergy, and we had a number of people who came with first class. I think more than 26 people who had applied for that were from first class filter, which was what is even your motivation for joining us, right? Part of what we are looking at, or part of what people value, like the earlier speaker had mentioned, I think it was Joy, is problem solving, right? And problem solving is really about your frameworks for thinking, right? When you're in school, they kind of give you like certain problem sets and you solve them. But more than anything else that was important in that school is modeling, is understanding your word problems. Because if you knew what your word problems were, then you can model real life scenarios into word problems. We went to the market today, the cost of this thing has gone up by this amount of money. What am I going to do now that this is what I have? That is the problem, right? So when you are able to think from that angle, you are able to understand scenarios and solve relevant problems. It's a packed question that may not have within the short time. I may not be able to just give all the details that I think are inside, but understanding problem solving in the way that the output is relevant to whoever you're solving that problem is one thing. Building skills that are hard skills, right? There's a soft skill part, but you should be able to solve problems with technology, right? Do you know how to use Excel, for instance? Do you know how to use whether it's AI, whether it's the accounting software on space is, right? Wherever you're trying to build your career path along, are you able to solve problems in that? And are you able to use technology to solve those problems, or tools, relevant tools within your industry to solve those problems? Those are critical for employers. Are you able to understand the difference between activity and output, right? So when I give a project out, there is a certain output we're expecting that makes us tick that project to be done at the end of the day, right? You could try calling Shegun for 20 hours, for instance. If you have not spoken to Shegun and communicated the thing we decided that we were going to communicate to Shegun, the job is not done, right? And a lot of people fall into the pit of doing a lot of activities and they miss out on the end goal, which is the output that is being required for that to be called a completed task, for instance, right? So, what does solving problems or what does being relevant aside academic grades look like? It's really understanding your core industry and what the problems are, staying on top of trends and knowing what's going on, but it's also building hard skills that you can say, well, these are the tools that I use to solve this problem, and the most the tools that are relevant in that industry. And then it will be understanding what your expected outcomes for those engagements are, right, for each of these areas. And maybe the last part will be your ability to work with people whom you may not necessarily agree with in all ramifications, but be able to compartmentalize what work you're doing with them such that you can work with them in that area and get the desired outcomes while maintaining your core of the core of your person and your principles and the things that you know to be true, right? For lack of time, I really would just keep it brief at that. But beyond grades, in fact, the most attractive things right now is about problem solving, it's about tools that you're using to solve this problem. It's about how you are working with other teams. It's about understanding outcomes and sticking with them. Yeah, thanks. I think I'll keep it there.
Wow, thank you very much, Verse. You actually mentioned a lot of things. Yeah, you mentioned, being able to solve problems because the degree or the certificate that you actually carry does not actually translate into problem solving immediately. So you also mentioned that you need to understand your industry, right? And you must build skills, both the soft skills and the hard skills. These are the things that will actually make you stand out and in any industry that you find yourself. Thank you very much for that. So I'm moving straight away to Timileyin. Now, of course, you are someone that I know very well. Just like you said in the introduction, we were both roommates, and I know that you studied applied geology at the Federal University of Technology, Akure Futa. Okay, so now you've gone ahead to build technology and AI-driven companies. So what lesson can young people actually learn about career transitions and then positioning themselves beyond the limits of their degrees? Yeah, the floor is yours now, Timmy. Timmy, are you there? Oh, okay. Probably is dealing with network issues. So let me just move on to, yeah, let me move on to Miss Beauty again. Okay, I think it's back. Timmy, did you get that question?
Yes, please could you come again, please?
Okay, yeah, I said that I know you to some extent. We were both roommates in 100 level back then at Futa. And I know that you studied applied geology. Okay, so I'm now asking that as someone that has gone ahead to build technology and AI driven companies, what lessons can young people actually learn about career transitions and how they can position themselves beyond the limits of their degrees?
That's a very good, multifaceted, it's like triple-barreled question, right? So, yeah. So I think, so the core of it is first of all understanding. So yeah, I mean, whatever degree you're studying, I mean, I think basically what school is supposed to do for you, or let me say education is supposed to do for you, is give you like framework for thinking, such that in any context or situation you find yourself, you can just literally deploy those frameworks and you can work your way towards any solution. Doesn't matter the degree you study. I think any degree that doesn't give that to you is a pure waste of time. It's not just about memorizing fact figures and then
Hello. Sorry, am I the only person that cannot hear Mr. Timmy? Okay. Jobiloju, please go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's his network because I can't hear him anymore from the side.
Okay. We have some hands raised. Sorry, is that a question? Let me confirm that.
Can you hear me now?
I
So
think
sorry,
it's
I
back.
went
Yes.
up. Okay. Sorry.
Sorry about
about that.
that.
My network is acting up with guy in Nigeria. So sorry. All right. So yeah. So I was saying, no, what was the last thing you had me say? Segun, can you please just, what was the last thing you had me say in front of?
Yeah, you said something about education should give you a framework for thinking, and it's not about cramming numbers,
Okay.
stuff like that.
Yeah. So yeah, so my point with that is that what I was driving at, it doesn't matter the course you study. I mean, except for professional course, right? And what I was saying is that, so if you really go to school, I mean, when you get educated, is to provide you with a framework for thinking, so that in any context, and you to bring it to bear to provide solutions. That is what schooling is supposed to be. So it doesn't matter about the course you study, right? So I mean, so I'm trying to answer that in my own context. So whether I study another course entirely, I don't think the outcome would have been different, right? So, but then still, I was able to make that transition. So I would say for me, personally, I think you need to know your purpose, right? I mean, the reason for why you exist. I don't think it was something. Yeah, purpose can be designed by best thing. It is best discovered. So get to know the reason why you are here. And once you know that, I mean, I'm not saying it's going to be seamless for you, but it's sort of like sets your paths. And that is literally the vision for your life, right? And then you can literally plan out, like, in the words of Katel, I would say you
Hello.
I think it's the
Hello.
network. It's pretty poor.
All right. So let me just move straight to, Miss Beauty. I'm coming back to you. But then before that, there was something that Timmy actually said, that if you want to actually transition, you need to know your purpose. He was saying it based on his own, how he was able to transition into
can you
AI.
hear me?
And okay, I think you just wrap it up in 10 seconds.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you now.
Hello, can anyone hear me?
Yes. So please, can you just wrap it up
Okay.
in 10 seconds?
Yeah. So get to understand your purpose, and once you know that, be a definite optimist, have a clear plan for the future, and you might have to see that for you to eventually realize the purpose, you might have like 3, 4, 5 major steps you need to take, right? So for me, that meant starting a company in 300 level, and which is going to be like what's going to ramp up into like an elite MBA program, and then getting me into the position I need to be able to do what I need to do. But if you've not found out what your purpose is, I would just say remain curious, very, very curious. I mean, explore your curiosities, go down the rabbit hole, find that thing that just interests you, right? So what's that thing you would do, even if you're not paid to do it, like you would gladly do, right? And that thing has, of course, it has to be valuable. People must be, that's another conversation entirely, right? So, but I think that's just, so if you've not found out what your purpose is, remain curious, keep discovering yourself, explore as much as possible, go down the rabbit hole, and if you have figured out purpose, have a clear, definite plan of what you're going to achieve it. So, yeah, that's it.
Interesting. Thank you very much for that. So, for you that probably you're thinking of switching from one thing to the other, yeah, don't just be everywhere. You should know your purpose, right? And you actually gave us an insight. If you are someone that maybe you don't really know your purpose yet, stay curious. Stay curious. I think that will also help you to actually know exactly what you want and where you want to be. All right. So now I'm talking about, purpose, um, purpose, right? And knowing your purpose and then remaining curious. I want to move on to Miss Beauty because personal branding is another topic now that people talk about nowadays. So I want to ask, how can someone begin to build an authentic personal brand? And what is now the distinction between someone building a personal brand and someone becoming like an influencer? Can you just help us shed light on that in 30 seconds?
Thank you for another
Miss Beauty, are you there?
opportunity. Now, personal brand is not about. Can you hear me?
Yes, please go on.
Can you hear me? All right.
Ye-
Okay. Personal branding is not about becoming an influencer. Yes. Personal branding is not about becoming an influencer. Someone that is building a brand can become an influencer, but an influencer may find it hard to build a brand.
Hmm.
So it's not about you getting thousands of followers or being famous. It's about you being known for something specific, something that matters to you and something that is important to the people you serve. For example, I'm building a brand on communication. That is my personal brand. And personal brand is who you are. Is who you are. Is nobody else. Is who you are. Who you are and what you do. That's your brand. So not all influencers can, build a brand, but if someone that is building a brand can become an influencer because you have people that you're serving. You have a problem. First of all, you need to have a problem that you're solving. If you're not solving a problem, then you cannot build a brand. You need to be sure about what you do, know your target audience, and know how you're going to help them. Now we all know Tony Elumelu, the where renowned Nigerian businessman, because he has a powerful um idea on this personal branding. Because in his words, he said it takes years to build a trusted brand and seconds to destroy it.
Hmm. Hmm.
It takes years. So that's why when it comes to building a brand, you don't you have to be intentional because at the end you end up getting affected. Don't see brand as a big thing. You are your own brand. You are the one handling your brand. So if you not choose to become an influencer, why building your brand, then that's fine and good. But just know that when it comes to personal branding, you are solving a specific problem. Your audience knows you for this. An influencer can be doing so many things. Like if you go to the person's profile, your page, you can be seeing so many things, like different kinds of things. But when you come to the profile of someone that is building a brand, just within 3 seconds, you already know what that person is doing. That is brand. That's that is who the person is and the problem the person solves. So both are not the same. And an influencer cannot become a brand owner unless the person goes back to build a brand. Influencer you can start from anywhere, but brand is a process. A process you have to start from somewhere. You have to start from the scratch. But influencer you can just come up and influence for many businesses, many brands and all that. You can just start from anywhere, but building a brand, it has a process. It's not something you do anyhow. So please do not put both together because brand, just like a tree, when you plant a seed, you have to nurture it till it grows. That's the same thing with brand. You plant your seed, then you start nurturing it till it grows. hope it's clear. Thank you so much.
Yeah, wow. Thank you for shedding light on that for us. What you said now and what Mr. Timmy actually said, they actually relate in a way because there's something that you have to know or you must have something specific. Don't just be everywhere. There should be something that you will be known for. So personal branding is who you are, just like you said. And then it takes years to build the brand, but it's a matter of seconds, you can ruin the whole thing. So don't be everywhere. Know your purpose, know who you are. Then you have to be intentional about it. I remember hearing that from you as well, that one has to be intentional about it. So very quickly, I'm going to Miss Joy now. Miss Joy, are you ready for me now? So the
All
question I
right,
want to
I'm
ask,
here.
okay, perfect. I trust you. So the question I want to ask you now is that, through your work, you have actually empowered thousands of women and girls through the training that you do. At least I'm aware of some. So what skills, attitudes, or values now do you believe are essential for young people who want to actually become change makers in their communities, or let's say in Africa at large?
Wow. You see, for that the skills that is very, very important for you. Number one, very important, you need networking skills. You might be good at a lot of things. You might be good at this, you might be good at that, you might be able to do this. But sincerely, if you don't actually build relationships, you can't go anywhere. The only way you can fly in life is through sustainable and meaningful relationship. Let me use that word. So you need to learn how to meet with people, potential people, connect with them every day. There is something I do every week. And every week, I ensure that I connect with one people. So apart from you building good connection skills, communication skills. Some of we young people, communication is not about you talking or you shouting or you making people to see you at every time. No. Communication is your ability to sell out yourself. Okay, in 1 minute, what do? Your elevation pitch. Who are you? What are you made for? And as you are also giving out all these things, ensure you are building something within you. You don't need to own enough for profits before you make impacts. I will keep saying that. You could be a co-founder. In fact, you could just be working for an organization just because, okay, you are good at writing, or you are good at website development, or you are good at fundraising, you are good at campaigning. You could be very, very good at that. So networking skills, communication skills is very important for you as young people. And that is where other skills can come in for you. If you are trying to build a sustainable social venture, non-for-profit, or business. So these are the two essential skills to me that I know so well that it is very relevant, because if once you start talking about other skills, that is where other skills, that's where other leadership skills for social impact and business management comes from. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Joy, for shedding more light on that. One thing that she said that I'm going to emphasize is networking. Networking is very, very important. Nobody can grow alone. You actually need people. You know someone that knows someone to get that thing that you want. So you must be willing to go out of your shell, out of your comfort zone, and network with people. And now she emphasized on two things, that it has to be a sustainable and meaningful relationship. Yes. So please, relationship is key. Relationship is very, very important. If there's anything that is limiting you, maybe a form of attitude that can make you to actually ruin some good relationships, you need to work on those things so that you don't miss out on opportunity. Trust me, in putting this event together, networking play a very, very huge role. Yes. So please, networking is very, very important, and they need to learn how to work with people. So I want to quickly go back to Verse. We are gradually coming to the end of at least this session. Verse, I want to ask you now, you are someone that actually has like this very good knowledge, good understanding when it comes to the energy sector, okay? So I want to ask, What opportunities do you see for young Africans, especially Nigerians, to contribute meaningfully to solving the energy challenges? Do you get that question?
So, if I hear you correctly, you are asking for the opportunities available for young people who are interested in solving problems in the energy space in Nigeria. Is that it?
Yes,
Can you
yes,
hear?
yes,
Oh, okay,
absolutely.
perfect, perfect. No, so if you look at that context, right? The major challenge we have in one of the major challenges that we have in the energy space is an infrastructural challenge, right? Whether you're thinking about energy from a power perspective or you're thinking about energy from a fuels perspective, and fuels is natural gas, it's petrol, it's all of that. We have a core infrastructural challenge, right? Luckily, there are certain things that the government can do, and they're doing it. Some of them with public-private partnerships. But what I would say is that as a young person who is interested in solving Nigeria's problem in the energy space, I think what you should consume yourself with is how can we, one, be able to develop comprehensive energy infrastructures that serve energy to the Nigerian populace. If you think around those kinds of questions and start solving for them, I assure you that in no distant time, I know distant times, maybe 5 years, maybe 10 years, whatever that is, in the near future, you would be solving one of the most critical problems in the country, right? For instance, we have a capacity to generate over 12 gigawatts of electricity in Nigeria, but the infrastructure, the transmission infrastructure for that energy is only about 5,000 gigawatts. What that means is that even if all the power plants in the country were firing and were producing electrical energy, we do not have the infrastructure to take that energy and distribute to all the people across. One is the fact that the infrastructure does not reach everybody, but also the people that the infrastructure reaches cannot get all of that, right? When I was in FIPL doing some time there, sometimes NCC would call to say, oh, there is too much frequency or there's too much load on the line, reduce how much power you're exporting from the generating company. Right. And so it means that we need to drop some turbines that we're producing and we'll keep them at full speed, no load, which means that they're moving, but they're not exporting power. Right. So there's that conversation. There is conversation around gas getting to the north. And the way that you change any economy is that you give them access to electricity or give them access to energy. Right. AKK is coming on stream. But what does that mean for the communities that are not along Kaduna or Ajaokuta or Kanu axis? What does that mean for them? How do we get gas to them? How do we get all of these energy resources to them? So if you think about distribution or accessibility of energy for Nigeria to the Nigerian populace, you would really be solving a real problem in the energy sector. And think around it from a data perspective, right? Think about it to say, oh, what is the average amount of energy per person, per unit capital that we need to get to these people? How many people are in these regions? So we have a big data problem as well as a country, right? Because you can't say for sure how many people are in which regions, right? And how we can get this to them. But I'm simply just saying, think around it from a data perspective, think around it from a technology perspective, but more than anything else, think about it from a hardcore infrastructural perspective. How do we galvanize resources, whether it's investments, whether it's data, whether it's communications that expose the needs that we have? If you are solving for energy accessibility in Nigeria and Africa, you'll be solving one of the problems that we need solved, right? There may be other problems that may be sexy to solve, but will they land us where we need to be as a people and as an economy? I don't know for sure, but if there's one thing I can point to, I think if you're able to solve for energy accessibility, that would be a conversation to think around. And think about it from solar, from geothermal, from whatever energy sources. Just get energy to the people. If you can connect people with energy, we'll be in a good place as a nation. Yeah, I'll pause there.
Wow,
Just maybe just to say,
interesting.
sorry, just one more minute. Maybe just to say, to earlier hours of today, right? There's an asset that we are taking over as at Ginergy, that was serving a certain community of people. We went there and we saw the demand for gas, right? And it was very interesting. People are coming to buy 1 kg, half kg of cooking gas. It was the first time I was seeing people buy half kg of cooking gas. You get what I'm saying? So first is the fact that chunk of their cooking happens with firewood. There are very few people who have these kinds of energy needs for gas, but also there's an awareness conversation. There's also an economic conversation because they don't have as much free cash flows that they can use to buy energy in bulk, right? So as we're thinking around solving that, we're thinking, how do we empower the people in this community so that they have enough economic power to purchase this energy resource? How do we also teach them that this is a healthier route to cooking than the firewood? So you see that it's an interesting conversation as we speak. So it doesn't have to be go buy land, lay pipelines. It could be as simple as, how do I start teaching people to understand that this is a better source of energy, healthier source of energy than this or that. So I just wanted to add that fact.
Yeah, wow. Thank you very much. Thank you. You actually dished out a lot of wisdom right there. Yes. I think from what you said, part of what you said, that communication is very important, and of course getting data too, looking at it from the data perspective is also very, very important. There are some people that they don't really have much knowledge about these things. So they need to be informed. They need to be informed. And people that are also learning too, they also need to explore the part of, having data that can work, that people can work with, okay, in solving some of these problems. So yes, Timileyin, I'm back to you. I'm back to you. So I think sometime 2 years ago. Okay, I can see that. So your work has earned recognition from organizations such as Harvard Innovation Labs and Amazon Web Services. So how can young Africans now intentionally position themselves and their work for global visibility and opportunities?
Okay, good question. Yeah, so I think fundamentally the core of it, oh, can you hear me? Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Hello.
on
Oh,
some points, yeah, we were not hearing anything,
yeah.
but then go on.
Yeah, I will just yeah. So yeah. So your question, not to be performative. I mean, the objective is not just to get global opportunities. You can't just carry that and say that's the output. So it starts with doing great work. Really, that's it. Actually, do the work. Do the real work. So I mean, it's obvious from what Vasey has been saying. The guy is really, really doing some critical. It shows in your thinking. It shows in the way you communicate. It shows in everything, right? So do the work. Do the actual dirty work. That's where it starts from. So you don't start by saying, "Oh, I want to be recognized by the best institution." To start doing the work. Then, as you do the work, of course, you begin to find out layers upon layers, the problems, and you keep solving them one by one after the other. Then as you do the work, do as much as you can to actually record it. I mean, get evidence that you are doing the work, right? So, I mean, that evidence could be in form of testimonials from people using your service. Yeah, that's it. Then actually apply. Yeah, apply to this.
I didn't get the last thing you
Okay.
said. Apply something. Sorry? Okay. But I was able to pick from what you said, that you have to do the dirty work, right? The real work, you have to do it. It is very, very important. So you should not, you don't have to be thinking about the global recognition now. First do the work, do something, solve problem. Then when you have that, then those recognitions can now come. In fact, when those opportunities are now available, then you can easily just come into it because you're already working on something. You can just like submit what you've been working on, and then before you know it, you are good to go. So I'm going to link that with this question that I have for Miss Joy. Miss Joy, are you ready for me? She's still on. Oh my days. Okay, she's currently not on this call, so I'll probably just move to Miss Beauty. Miss Beauty, I'm coming back to you. So now, as a writer and educator, what communication skills do you believe will remain valuable regardless of industry, profession, or technological advancement? Please, in 20,
All
because we
right,
are trying to be time conscious now.
all right. How many seconds do I have?
20 seconds.
All right. So I've studied communication for years. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I've studied communication for years, and I've learned that there are some skills in communication that can never go out of style. Like they can never go out of style because they remain valuable no matter the industry you find yourself in. Number one is clarity because people trust what they understand. If no one can understand whatever you're doing, then you'll not get the results you're expecting. So whatever you're doing, you have to be clear. Know when to use big words to explain, know when to use small vocabularies to explain. The second one is listening because no matter the industry you find yourself in, you need to develop that skill of listening because once you listen to what your audience needs, you can serve them better. If you don't listen, you cannot serve them better. Another one is empathy. People trust those who see them. People love being seen and heard. So whatever you're doing, make sure you have that empathy. Make sure that your clients, your customers, your audience, they feel seen and heard. Another one is adaptability because you need to adjust your messages. The audience you have now, let's say the audience I have right now may not be the same audience I have in another speaking event. So I need to adapt and adjust whatever I'm doing to bring it down to their level of understanding. Another thing is studying your audience so that whatever you're saying, they can understand. The goal of communication is to understand. If the understanding is not there, then you're missing it. So before you communicate anything, whether online or offline, study your audience, study the person you're speaking to, study the person you're writing to, study the people you are speaking to. It will help you to know how to adjust your message. It's help you to know how to adjust your message because the way you will speak to a colleague cannot be the way you speak to students. It's not possible. And the way you speak to students cannot be the way you speak to your classmates, your your fellow professionals. So you need to adapt. These are the four main skills. And another one is confidence. You need to have that confidence. I'm so sorry if I'm taking enough time, but you need to have that confidence. Confidence when you're speaking, it will be felt through your gestures and all that. When you're writing, through your choice of words, confidence will be felt. So whatever, and you cannot build that confidence overnight. It is step by step, step by step. I have a community group, and I'll be dropping the link after speaking. I have a community group for people that want to improve their communication and connect with like minds. So you need to be clear, you need to adapt, you need to you need to have empathy. You need to develop the skill of listening. And you need to have that confidence in yourself. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for that, Miss Beauty. Yeah, I really appreciate that. She emphasized on adaptability, confidence, empathy, and ability to listen. So thank you very much for sharing that with us. I really appreciate that. And she also said something that it's not something you build, in a day. Like you have to be consistent. You have to do it over and over and over. So I don't know if Ms. Joy is back, but then I want us to move on. Now I will soon hand over to Jomiloju so that she can handle the audience question and answer session because I'm sure that you all have questions too for our panelists, okay? But then I want Timmy to quickly help us address this. Yes, I want him to quickly help us address this. So through live print and Accede, of course, Vese will also talk about this too because you're also a co-founder of a startup. Yes, through live print and Accede, you are solving real world problems at scale. Okay, so what advice would you give to young people who want to move from consuming ideas to building solutions? Yeah, Timmy, the floor is yours now. Then Vese will also pick up the same question too.
Hello, I think your line is breaking. I don't know if it's just from my end. I
Oh,
didn't get that question.
am I audible now?
Yeah, you are audible, but the line working. But I guess your question is,
Yeah.
how do people move from ideas to execution, right?
Yes, from consuming ideas to actually building solutions of their own. More like having a startup, something like that.
Okay. Okay, so I think generally, this is it. There's actually a body of knowledge you need to have, right? Or like the basics you need to know about what building a business is, or whatever you want to do, get to know the basics. But make sure you're not wasting time learning beyond the basics before you start. Of course, you're gonna get very technical, very, very become an expert and all, but that is you should not wait until you become an expert before you start, right? So once you know there's the basics for every industry, right? Basics for everything, whatever you want to build. Once you know the basics, just launch, get started, right? So and I mean, if that means building a business, right? That means talking to your customer. That's the best way to start from, right? That is eventually how you're going to find out what they think is valuable. What you might be surprised that what you think is valuable is not the same thing as what.
Hmm. 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 Yeah, emphasis on what you think is valuable and what your audience what they demand from you. All right, thank you very much. First, can you please come up and answer the same question based on your experience, founding Ginergy?
So yeah, like Timmy said, right? I think your line was breaking, but I understand your question to mean what does it take? What is the journey like from having an idea to actually executing on that idea? What is that journey? What should it look like? Is that the question?
Yes, like instead of
Is that the
them just
question?
consuming ideas, how can they start building solutions to, like, what advice would you give to young people who want to move from just consuming ideas to building solutions?
I'm still not sure I understand what consuming ideas mean, but if it is from a standpoint of, oh, I attend meetings, I've heard people say things, I've listened to people, but I don't know how to move from where I am. If that is what consuming
Yes.
ideas mean, good, good. If that is what it means, is again really just starts with clarity, right? I think it was Joy who was either Joy or Beauty. Beauty was talking, and she mentioned about just being clear about whatever you're trying to communicate. Building businesses or building anything really is about communication as well, right? It's really I think that you like caps. I see the cap you're putting on Shegun. I think that you like caps, but I have caps that will go for your black, blue, and green natives as well, right? If you don't mind, I could show you showing you those caps and saying which of these caps would you get from from us, right? Oh, okay, you don't have this amount of money. What is your budget? Can we understand what it is? How important is this? So there's all of those nuances, but it's basically being able to say, going on, I see that this is a need, this is a problem, and evaluating if I have what it takes to solve the problem, right? So I give you a practical example. We're talking to our mentors last year about the difficulties we're facing in entering the market, in the CNG market, and he just said, you know what do you advise for us to do now? And he said, you know what, basically, I think you should go get a job, right? And this was 7 months. We started Gene in 2024, but I had gone in full time for 7 months now. And I'm talking to my mentor. He says, maybe you should go get a job, right? Get a job, because the problem you are having is not a capability problem, it's a relationships problem. It's a network problem. It's that there are certain people in the industries who need to believe you, or you need to interact with at certain levels before you move forward. So what did I do? Went into corporates, got a job, and I'm working in the industry that I'm trying to build. And as I'm doing that, I'm building relationships. Right. And I tell you for free, our first transaction at Ginergy came in when we moved pre-revenue, came in from a relationship we built 2 years ago. Right. And that relationship came back to buy stuff for us. So I'm simply saying, I want to solve this problem. Am I a right fit to solve that problem at this time now? Right. If I think yes, I'm a right fit, good, I can proceed. If I don't think yes as a right fit, I will need to become the right fit. When I think yes, how do I proceed? I need to be in the problem enough to understand what the real problem is. So it means talking to people. It means going and observing these people. So there's a thing called design thinking. So there's like that whole, if you're interested in reading up those kinds of stuff, you look at design thinking path, right? But it means really talking with these people and putting yourself in their shoes and understanding their real issues and understanding their cultural nuances, because all of these will make for how you solve that problem. But at the core, just so I don't take much more time, it's taking action, right? So realize that when you decided you want to solve this, you took action to go and meet these people and talk to them, or watch them, or observe them, or listen to them. Really just listen to them. No inputs, no leading questions. Listen to them, hear them. They may not be able to tell you this is our problem, but when you do listen to them, you'll find what their issues are in the things that they're saying. Right. Then figure out where you will find the solution. It means building it. It means is getting it off the shelf from somewhere else. Figure out how you find a solution and your pipeline to getting that solution to them, right? So it's a long conversation. It's not something you do in 30 seconds of communication, but I'm trying to just compress all of this to say, decide on something, evaluate if you're a good fit for it. If you're not, go solve it. Yeah, go and become a good fit for it, right? And then go to the people, understand what their real issues are, find ways of solving for them, include their cultural nuances as you solve for them, right? So that you don't bring the solution and they dump it on the side, right? But if there's one thing that you must keep at the back of your mind, it may take longer than you think it would, right? So you better buckle up journey, right? So that's
Yeah.
what I said. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for taking the time to really like explain that. So I would like to actually hand over now to Jomiloju so that she can facilitate the. Sorry, am I still audible? Sorry. Okay. Can you hear me? Jomiloju, can you please talk?
Yes, I can hear you. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Okay. Wow, this has
This
actually
has
been
been
amazing.
I am telling you, this
Yeah,
has been an absolutely powerful session. Like, if you won't believe
yeah.
I've written up to 3 pages of higher education. This is to tell you
Wow.
how much value was dished
Wow,
out
that's what my
today.
ear.
Thank you guys so much. Really
Please,
appreciate
Jomiloju,
each
can you
and every
please
one.
Hold on a sec.
All right.
Yeah. So before we, of course, I'm sure we are with questions, right? I want to ask our panelists. But before then, I want to I don't know, I want to get this fun and how should I put it now? I want to get this fun side of them. Yeah, so that we can actually know that okay, they are human like us because the way they've been talking, they'll be like, oh, these people have achieved a lot. These people are, So I just want to like bring that down to us that okay, these people they are still like us. So I want to ask them like these few questions here. They are meant to be interactive, fun, and they say I can. So I'd like to start from yes, Beauty. Are you there? You are going first. I have some
Okay,
couple of
sir.
questions.
I'm here.
Okay. So just pick one. I'll be giving you some options. Just pick one. Okay.
All right.
So do you prefer books or podcasts?
Yeah. Do I?
Do you prefer books or which one do you prefer? Books or podcasts?
Mm, I prefer more of. I don't know. I'm into communication, so I do both. Well, let's say
But then
books because I started writing first before having that confidence in speaking. Then I started with writing, so I'll go with books.
okay, perfect. So public speaking or writing?
Public speaking or writing. Oh God, this is actually very difficult. I was just to choose because I'm a communication coach and communication has to do with both writing and public speaking. Oh God,
I
public
know, right?
speaking, right?
Okay.
It's
So
just so hard.
yeah. Which one do I have for you? LinkedIn or X? That's Twitter. I already know your pick.
LinkedIn.
Yeah, absolutely.
LinkedIn.
All right. Thank you very much. So I'm moving on to Timmy. Timmy, are you there? Mr. Timmy, are you there? Okay, good. So remote work or office work?
That's interesting. I think I prefer remote work. Yeah, remote work.
Remote work. AI assistant or human assistant?
Of course, a very smart. Interesting. That's a very tough one. Oh. I think AI assistant actually.
Yeah, because you
AI assistant.
are an AI expert, obviously. All right. This last one now. Early bird or night owl?
Come again. I didn't get that.
Early bird or night owl?
Ha! I am both of them. I don't even know.
All right. Thank you very much.
I am
Verse.
both.
Okay, no problem. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Audience, I hope your questions are ready. So after Verse, then I'll just hand over to Jomiloju. Then I think we are going to wrap it up from there. Verse, are you up?
Yeah, with you. Go for it.
All right, sharp. So
Messi is the
coffee
goat,
or
by the way.
tea?
Messi is the goat. Before you ask him, Messi is the goat.
So I didn't get that.
I said Messi is the goat. Before you proceed. Yeah, but go for it. Yeah, I'm with you.
All right, so coffee or tea?
It's because of the smell, coffee. I like the smell.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, coffee. LBS. That's true. Okay, books or podcasts?
Pod anytime. Podcast. I
No.
do podcast.
Wow, interesting,
Yeah.
interesting. Remote work or office work?
It depends on who is doing the work. If it's from Ginergy, office work, everybody comes to the office. If it's
Oh
me
wow.
working, I'd rather. I still like. I like the office thing. But because I can be lazy sometimes, I'll choose office remote work for if I'm the one working. But if they have to
Okay.
work for Ginergy, everybody comes to the office. Yeah,
Wow, interesting.
that's how.
LinkedIn or Twitter?
So my social media is very interesting, right?
I
I
know, right?
looking for help. I am actually looking for help. But LinkedIn, yeah, I'm looking. I don't have Twitter on my
Yeah,
phone actually, so LinkedIn. At least I have that one. I do have an
yeah.
account, but I don't have it on.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I get.
Messi or
In
Ronaldo.
fact, I
Messi.
wanted to tag you to a post. I was actually searching. I wanted to tag you to one particular post. I was searching. I think I eventually found you on Instagram, but then I'm not sure it's very active. So one last one. Public speaking or writing.
No, public speaking. I write a bit of poetry. I like to write poetry, but that's in my solitary moments. The one you wake me any day. I'd rather engage people and feel the pulses in their voices and all that. So yeah, public speaking for me.
Well, thank you very much. So Jomiloju, over to you now.
All right, Shegun, thank you very, very much. Like I said earlier, we've had so much value delivered to us today. I can't even I don't even know where to start from. I'm going to have to like go through all of this again. But I think I'll just pick my I think my point from the very last thing that Mr. Vesey said, where he said it may take longer than you think, so buckle up. I think this one was particularly speaking to me because I'm someone that I like to see results as fast as possible. That okay, I'm doing something, Abiko, at least in the next few, let me just see that this thing is working. Let me see that there's something going on. So it might actually take longer than you think. I mean, it might get difficult. I think somebody also mentioned it that said there might be a lot of challenges. I think it was Miss Joy, I think, when she was talking about that challenges will come your way, and just know that what is happening to you is also happening to somebody else, and it is how you handle it that would decide if you'll be relevant or valuable and all that. So guys, it might take longer than you think. Buckle up, but they've gotten there. We're going to get there too. So we're going to quickly move on to the last part of our of this meeting. I think we are supposed to have questions. Guys, I'm not seeing your questions in the I can't see any of the questions. Please, guys, if you have questions, we can take about two or three because it's almost 10, and that's just the limit of our time for tonight. So please, if you have questions, quickly put them in the comment section so that we can read them out and our panelists will answer them. Thank you.
They can they can as well raise their virtual hands too if they want to speak to them directly.
Oh, all right, that's good. So you can just speak to them directly. I think that's
Um,
better, and that'll be more time efficient. I think you
okay,
need to unmute a
yeah,
lot
that's
of people, Mr. Sheldon, so that they'll be able to raise their hands.
yeah,
Or
okay.
just try to
No,
unmute everybody. We're already done with the program.
okay, okay.
Yeah, I think that's better.
I'm trying to do that now. Um, Settings. Okay, yeah, I've done that already. So if you want to speak, you can just mic and talk. Do we have any questions for our speakers? Okay, John Edith. John Edith. Yeah, please go
Yeah,
on.
Mr. John, the floor is yours. I'm not sure if still with us. I love someone else.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not seeing any hand raised.
If they don't have questions, me, I have questions. Guys, how can you not have questions with all these things that they've been saying? Okay, can I just go ahead and ask my question then?
I think
Of
there's a
course.
hand up. Hulu has the person's
Okay.
hand.
Oh, okay, yes, there's someone.
Okay,
Sorry.
Ulu. Okay. Yeah, please go on. Please go ahead and ask your question, Ulu.
If you are speaking, you're muted basically.
Hello, Ulu. Kindly unmute your mic and talk. Okay. Jomilojo, I think you should just go ahead and ask your question.
All right then. Thank you. So my question is directed to all, but mostly to Mr. Timmy, as he's the one that said that he was able to start a company when he was in part three. So I want to ask, how exactly were you able to because we're currently in school, so how exactly were you able to balance being a student with doing something that's massive while still being in school? And yes, let's answer that first. Thank you.
Right. How was I able to manage it with schoolwork, right?
Yes.
Hello, can you hear me? Okay, good question. Yeah, I get this question all the time. So first of all is to okay, so this is as a I mean, I remember what I was saying. So it boils down to time management, really. That's it. So if you really think about it, I mean, I don't know if you are attended tutor, right? So even I've spoken with other people. So how many hours do you actually spend in the day doing the actual schoolwork, right? Sometimes lecturers don't come to class. How many hours do you actually spend on the school? Like actually track your time and see where you're spending your time, right? Then you find that you actually have a lot of time to actually do other things, right? Even if you're not building a company, you can as well spend all of the extra time reading books, developing yourself personally, even if you are not building a company, right? So if you spend those other hours doing other things, right? Funny thing is that you find out that almost all the first class graduate guys, they had other things they were doing aside just education, like aside just reading their books. Like I have guys that are AI engineers that are doing very, very well in other aspects apart from the schoolwork, right? So it's just like the Matthew effect. Those that have, you keep having, right? Those that know how to manage their time, they'll keep getting more result, and it will look as though like is there's no magic to it at all. Like I think it's just basic time management. Actually track your time. Look at how much you are spending. I mean, 24 hours. Look at what how much you're spending on the actual schoolwork, then look at what you're spending on maybe watching movies and all of those. Actually, you have to cut some other things, right? I mean, like literally maybe see maybe one or two movies a year, right? But I mean, it doesn't mean you should not see movies, right? Like, but just really look at your time, and then you find out that you actually have a lot of time. I mean, even as a student, yeah, you do have a lot of time. I mean, maybe if 3, 4, 5 years now, when you graduate from school and you start working, you then you get to realize that as so you really, really had a lot of time, right? Yeah. So I think that it's just time management, right? So I don't think it's anything special, right? So just time management. We find out that the time will come out for it, right? So of course it means you might have to stop doing some things. You might not be able to, maybe if you go out with friends, you might not be able to do all of those things again. But I mean, I think it's worth it for what is really, really important, right? So we get to create time for what is important. Yeah, so that's it.
Thank you very, very much, Mr. Singh. That was really helpful. I think my second question. Okay, my second question is we've been talking about networking all day, and we've talked about people meeting with people, making meaningful, sustainable connections. So for you to actually be, I want to use this in quotes, put yourself in a global platform for people to see you and see what you are doing. Is there a particular way that you can network to meet this kind of people? And what platforms would you recommend for us to use this? Thank you.
Directed to me. So who is that question directed to? I mean, I can
Anyone,
respond, but
honestly.
let me just be
Yeah,
sure.
definitely. Please take
Okay.
it.
I think that I think there are people that are doing branding and okay. Or who should respond? Jomiluju or Shegun? Are you there? I think they are me, I'm not a branding expert, but I think there are people that could probably give a better response.
I think
Okay, yeah,
anyone
but
who
yeah,
can
yes,
should. Okay.
okay. Yeah, so here's what I think. So networking, getting into the rooms, I think networking first of all is I mean, let's even talk about the physically. There's not really much you can do virtually online, right? I mean, except posting and all of those things. I mean, it could get you somewhere, but there's a lot of value to be gotten even physically. So here is my cheat code, and I'm giving you guys for free, right? When you this is how I actually met Uncle Yaboyeji. He's the founder of Andela and Flutter with both billion-dollar companies. I also met Uncle Tayo through the same method. Uncle Tayo is the founder of Max Okada. If you stay in Lagos, Ogun State, Lagos, or your Akure, you will know Max Okada. So they raised I think about $200 million or so. No, it's up to that. But they've raised a lot of money. Right? So that's how I met the founders, and they actually ended up investing in my company. When you go to networking events, and I think someone is already even applying it here. So one of the easiest, you say, what's the essence of networking, right? Of course, is to give. There's part of give and take, but you need to stand out first. And one of the easiest way to stand out is to ask thoughtful questions. Oh my God, thoughtful questions is a cheat code. Like, it's a cheat code that works even online. Yeah, it works online too. So there's this person you want to get their attention. You are liking their post, you are responding, you are liking, you are retweeting, or if it's LinkedIn, me, I prefer X. So you are liking and retweeting. Once you see them post something, ask a thoughtful question or just contribute meaningfully. I think online it makes sense to contribute meaningfully. If you do that for a long period of time, there's no way you will not be noticed. If it's real life, in fact, it's a one-time opportunity. Like this is the first time. That's the first time you are meeting that your star. When I say your star, I mean someone you are inspired by, right? Or someone that inspires you, and you don't even know whether you even meet them, you ever meet them again in your life. Just think of a thoughtful question that is in their area of expertise, right? So once you do that, you're able to stand out. Once you ask the question, they are engaged. Of course you follow it up, and that way you build a relationship. So this is the exact playbook I used when I met Uncle Yin. That was at Impact. That was in 2020. I think if you even check YouTube, you find that video there, right? I mean, it was a crowd of like over 10,000. I think it was maybe almost 10,000, 20,000 young people there at the program, and I went forward, asked my question, and that was how we connected, right? And he ended up investing in the company. Also, Uncle Tayo, I met him at an event. I didn't even know him before that event. I just listened to him. But this person seems very smart. I went online, researched him. Oh, he's the founder of Max. Oh, what they are into, and then just thought of the question to ask. Walked up to him, asked him the question, gave me his email, and that was it. That was it, right? So, and these relationships are, I mean, they are, I would say they are multi-billion-dollar relationships to me personally right now. So, I think, yeah, and I mean, especially networking upward for upward mobility, right? So, those are my thoughts on that. So, others can also weigh in what they think and also share from their experiences.
No, no, maybe just to add a bit, right? And also because time is fast spent. Um, I think I don't remember if it was Timmy or if it was Joy who had spoken about make. I think it's Timmy. Yeah, I think about making sure that you are getting the exposure that you want to get from the audience that you're looking to get it from, right? If I got your question right, being in the faces of people or getting the right connections that put you on the map from a global perspective. I don't know that the global perspective is just everybody, except if you're a musician or a content creator and you want just anybody to see you, Right. Otherwise, if you're a business person, you want someone to see you because of a specific reason, right? Even if the person is in the diaspora, right? If you are any type of person, which was the branding conversation as well, right? You want people to see you for certain types of reasons. I will think that there is a tendency, because it has happened to me and many other folks that I know, there is a tendency to just want to connect with people for the sake of connecting. As good as that may be, sometimes we almost lose opportunities or are unable to utilize those relationships in the best ways possible, right? So get meet people, but meet people strategically, I would say. Let it be that in this phase of my life where I am, these are certain values that I'm aligned with, or these are certain things I'm looking to build, and these persons are the persons who are examples of these things. They represent that thing that I want to aspire to right now. So I will build relationship with them, and I'm very clear what that relationship looks like. I'm also clear what success in that relationship looks like, right? So I'm not showing up now, we're becoming friends, we have my number, I have your number, and we're just viewing statuses and saying hello, oh, it's been a happy new month to you, it's been this, it's been that. I don't know about that, right? Someone told me something maybe in 2019 when I was an NHF scholar during the closing dinner. They just said, aside maybe, it pointed something to the way I was talking. I said, outside this thing that you're saying or the way that you're speaking about this thing, what else are we going to remember about you? Right? And that question stuck with me, because where he was gearing towards was, whenever you go into a room, leave the room with an impression that can be referenced back to you to say, oh, is the lady who did XYZ, or is the lady who is doing XYZ, whatever that looks like, right? But be sure that you are one positioning yourself in the faces of the people you really, really think you need to be doing that. Otherwise, I don't know. Right. So those are really just my thoughts to just add to what Timmy says, just to add a bit of caution to say, maybe I don't necessarily need to be in the face of 100 people. Maybe I don't need 1,000 new people. Maybe I just need five who would be meaningful in the direction that I'm headed for, and all that. So yeah, just that extra caution to it. Cheers. I don't know if we're over, but this is the point where I'm most likely drawing my curtains. But yeah, I'd still be around for another 2-3 minutes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Timmy and Mr. Vasey. Those were very, 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 very nice points. And I'll definitely be noting them. And I'm sure that every other participant in this event too has noted those points. So I think I'm going to be giving the floor back to Mr. Shegun to I think we can round up now, but I want him to be the one to decide that. Thank you.
So yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. I've learned a lot from all of our panelists, and even with the questions that we've been, asking. Thank you so much for the answer that have been provided. And I want to also commend the participants for staying to the end. It has been such an awesome time here, hearing, my friends. They're actually my friends, hearing them talk about all of these things. I'm so grateful. Thank you all so much. Thank you for even, agreeing to do this with me. I'm really grateful. Then I also would like to appreciate all the collaborators talking about the Sankun organization, Impact Leaders Club, and FUTAMSA, that's Federal University of Technology Akure Medical Student Association, of which I'm a part of too. So thank you all so much. Okay, Ulu, you have a question? Do you want to type it or you want to ask? We are rounding everything up now.
I'm sorry,
I
please, can you
think
hear me?
yes, sure.
Okay, thank you. Okay, good evening,
All right.
everybody. This question is directed to Timmy. You mentioned that when you were starting with your introduction, you mentioned that it took you 3 years to finally understand your audience. And my question is, looking back at those years to where you are now, is there something that you would have done differently that will make you understand your audience faster compared to where you are now? And my second question is for Mr. Vasi, I hope I pronounced that right. Especially for those of us that are building a personal brand, uh, what are the best ways to validate that we're actually creating value for the right audience instead of assuming that, oh, we are creating value when in the other sense we are just doing something completely different from what they want? Thank you.
Okay, let me quickly take the one you directed to me, Dominion. Right. So, what did I do different after the 3 years? So, it's still around this what I thought is valuable and what I eventually found out, or what the customer perceived to be valuable. So, the what I did differently was literally engaged much more deeply with the customers. Now, there's a way you can engage in a way that you are engaging in a way to confirm your own assumptions or to verify your assumptions. And of course, is a cognitive what's it called now? It's not cognitive bias. I'm trying to find the word. It's a cognitive flaw, right? So where you have some set of assumptions and all the questions you're asking is just to just to drive the conclusion you are trying to make or to confirm the assumption. Right. So the correct route to go is make no assumptions. Just be open, right? So ask open-ended questions. So literally what we eventually did was we started consulting for schools for free, right? To just understand what exactly should we do. We're confused, right? So we started doing free consultations across technology, finance, and operations, and the answers, like the patterns, began to evolve, right? So we found out, okay, it wasn't as if even what we're doing was not valuable. It was valuable, of course, and it could even be that there's like a sequence of things that have to be done before you can then reach that conclusion. I know it's a bit complex, you might not understand. I'm trying to, for lack of better words, and also because of time, I can't break it down, right? So what I'm saying is that it might be like maybe 2-3 steps that you need to take before what you are really building, and it's actually valuable before they would then see the value. But it's just like trying to build Uber, trying to do food delivery before maps became a thing. You understand what I mean? Like it makes sense, but the timing is just off. It's not like it's not. You do you understand what I'm saying? Right? So there's no way you want to build a food delivery company without map, without payments, without all of those things. So it's just like a sequence. So now, if I wanted to start a food delivery company, let's say in the 90s, it will make sense for me to maybe start out as a map company, right? Digitize the world, right? So, but how we got to know that, okay, that's what we needed to do was actually speaking with the customer without any bias in my head, right? So just literally listening to them, asking them open-ended questions, getting their feedback, and then actually observing their behavior too, right? So what they say, what they do, are they the same? And I think that's really the route to go through, right? So before you even write a single line of code, before you even write a single marketing copy, go speak with your users as much as possible, understand them. Don't speak with one, speak with as many as possible. I think minimum you should be looking at 10 with record the conversations, right? When I say record, like write them down and then analyze it, look at the patterns. And now there's AI, it's going to make your life easier, right? So you can literally maybe have your AI assistant in the call while you're having the call, and then of course you can help you pick out all of those patterns. And you see, technology will just improve what you're doing, right? It's not going to help you do the actual thing. So yeah, so that's it. What changed the game for us was when we eventually started listening to we didn't have customers then, like just listen the potential users, right? So got to listen to them, really, really understand their context, really, really understand their context, right? So that's it.
So thank you very much for that answer, sir. So Mr. Ulu, hello, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you very much.
So has it been able to answer your question?
Yeah, you answered it.
Okay, thank you so very much for that. So At least we've had it all from
I don't think
this.
there's
I
any
mean,
need for this for the second question that you were asking. Uh, do you think you still need comments, generally speaking?
so they say I didn't get that.
No, I'm saying that he asked the second question. I'm just saying I think that Timmy did justice to that. Really, if I would say anything, right, um, is to say don't worry about the audience. Maybe this is my model. Maybe it's not a good model. Maybe it's old school. I don't know. I'm sorry, right? Don't worry about the audience. Bother with what the things that to be. For me, for instance, right, I am very passionate about STEM education because I think that what we need in Nigeria is a lot more engineers and a lot more mathematicians and a lot more scientists who will build the physical infrastructure that we need so that tech can sit on top. Because if we don't have cables that run our telecommunication, no matter how much AI we will do, and sorry, no shades, no matter what we do in tech, generally speaking, we will have a problem with internet connection. We have a problem with telecommunication generally. So I think we need STEM people. That is important. I think that we need energy. Right. We need energy to reach people. I think that we need people to be entrepreneurially inclined so that we can deal with our economic conversations and troubles and set our economy for global competition. These three things define me. If I'm going to commit significant portions of my time to work on any project, it better be on these three things. And I'm almost not very, and which is why I say I need help. But I'm almost not bothered about, oh, who is seeing that I'm doing this thing or who is not seeing that I'm doing it. I'm really about, if this is touching on these things, I will do it and I will do my best while I'm doing it. Someday, somehow, right, somebody will stumble upon it and they will find that, oh, I can jump on a project to support them or something. I don't know. But really, for me, it's not who is saying the work. It's, is this work something I'm willing to really do? Will I pour my all? If the answer is yes, then I'll jump on it. If the answer is no, then maybe it's not for me. I don't know. So that's how I think about it, right? Again, may not be the best model because today's generation, the people who are seeing are the people who know, and those who are not seeing, they don't get a chance. So a balance may be good for it. I think joy and beauty will be in a better position to give us that.
Yeah, thank you so much, Verse, for also clarifying that. Beauty, do you want to weigh in on this?
So everyone, my name is Benedict. I'm 14 years old. I want to become a website developer and a robotics engineer. I'm finding like an easy way to focus, like like an so I'm finding an easy way to become like someone who can sponsor me, find an easy way to become a relevant person.
Okay. So, okay. Um, Benedict, is that your question? Are you done?
Yes,
All right. Interesting. Sorry, are you of course you are a guy, right?
yes,
Okay, so all right. So now the fact that you are 14 years old and you are on this call, I'm really impressed. I'm really impressed. I'm actually touched. 14 years old on this call. That's interesting. So you know what? I'm going to Timmy. So what do you actually have to say about that? I think it needs clarification and probably career path guidance. So would you like to say some things, please?
is something that has to be passed on and on. Like, I mean, is a, I mean, like, I don't know. You have if the register if you registered, I mean, just send me his details. You can see what we can do, right? Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much. That's someone getting mentorship, free mentorship. That's interesting. Thank you so much. So, Benedict, are you there? So after this call, if you can try
Yes,
and
sir.
locate, yeah, perfect. So can you like identify my number in the WhatsApp group chat? Can you do that?
Yes.
Okay, it is the
Yes.
same profile picture across all platforms. So just send me a DM, then you send me your name, your contact number, and I think we are good to go. Then I'll link you with Mr. Timmy. So I'm very happy for you. I'm very, very happy for you. Yeah, for you to be mentored by Mr. Timmy. Don't worry, you are in safe hands. So yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, you're welcome. So I think that is it, right, for tonight. So the most important thing is after everything that we've all heard, what we are going to do with the information we've heard, that is the most important thing, honestly. It's a different thing to be present here and listen to them speak, and another thing to actually take action. Another very important thing that I want us to actually hold on to is our mindset. We should not focus on the problems, okay? Fine, the challenges are everywhere. We know what the Nigeria reality is, but we should not allow that in any way to get to us, okay? What what you are saying should be different. What you are saying, you should always declare what you want to see. You should see solution. You as a young person, you should see possibility. Whatever it is that you want to become, you should keep declaring it, because there's a part of positive thinking and affirmation. And of course, the Bible also say for people that believe in the Bible, I believe so much in the Bible. The Bible declare a thing and it shall be established. So don't allow the reality of Nigeria to get to you that probably you cannot get to the top, or that you cannot become globally relevant. You just have to look within. Okay, you have to look within, and great things will happen to you. It will happen in your life. All right, the future is bright.
Amen.
Trust me, the future is bright. Yes, the next big thing is coming from us. It's coming from. I was reading something about Buhari, that at 33 he served. He served till I think up to 70 something years so before he finally died. Yes, his own time has actually passed. And one thing that I know for sure is that no matter how long they live, they cannot live our own life. Yes, they cannot live our own life. They cannot make our own impact. So if you believe that your own space too is waiting for you at the top, you will definitely get there and you will achieve that greatness. So please let us have this growth mindset. And of course, I would like to also, okay, please just a sec. I would like to also say this, that we have a committee. The WhatsApp group is for mindset and mastery. So every second and last Friday in every month, we do have like a 45-minute conversation on mindset and mastery, where we talk about different things that has to do with personal development, career growth. So if you are someone that is very interested in that, just remain in that group, okay? Remain in that
Okay.
group. Yes. So thank you very much. I think, yeah, that's it from my end. Jomiloju, what else do you have for us? I think you made mention of um an ebook now.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. So, in addition to, first, I think I would like to say congratulations to Benedict. Congratulations. You don't know what you have won tonight. I really hope that you're able to value what you were given. So, in addition to that, for everyone that we've seen
I really
to be
value it so much.
participating, listening, asking questions, we made available two powerful courses, one on business, on how to build businesses, another one on how to utilize AI and technologies. So I've listed out the name of people that I realized were, really involved in it, and you'll be sending your details to Mr. Shegun.
So it would send you the link to get access to the free courses. This is also another thing that Mr. Segun made available for us for this program. So let's appreciate him for that. So I think that is all on my hand. Thank you all so very much for coming. We cannot overthank the panelists for coming around. Thank you guys so much. We have gained so much from you, and we pray that whatever your endeavors are, that we pray that the Almighty will go with you, and you guys will continue to succeed mightily. Thank you all so much for coming, and to everybody in attendance. We appreciate you guys. I hope you've learned a lot, and I hope that we are all going to go out with this knowledge that we've been given, and change our own corners too. Have a wonderful night, everyone.
Good night, everyone. Thank you all for joining. Yeah, the meeting is over. For this after party, we want to wait. Are you saying something? Let me do.
I'm trying to type out the name of people that got access to the course.
Oh, okay. Let me just keep playing the music as you are doing that. So then when you are done, you can let me know, please.
Done.
Sorry, what did you say?
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done.
Oh, okay, so good night, everyone. Yeah, see you at the Mindset and Mastery group. You guys should keep doing great stuffs, amazing stuffs. The world is waiting for what only you can offer. Yeah, good night, everyone. Bye. So I'm ending the call now. 1, 2, 3.